Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Dalvia. I am an astrologer and spiritual teacher here at Bene Mudra, and this is your astro update for February 7th through February 13th. So just as an overview, we're in a Mercury retrograde. February 8th, there's going to be a conjunction, meaning the planets are in the same place in the sky. The Sun and Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. This is about the halfway point of the retrograde. So what you want to watch for is clarity and the reveal of issues that kind of questions and reviews have been targeting in your life. It's a good thing. It's like where we kind of take stock of what's been happening since the Mercury retrograde began. It's a good barometer. On February 10th, we have Mercury retrograde squaring Mars in Taurus. So that's kind of a second look at whatever unrest or tense stuff came up around January 8th. February 11th, we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius. That is in a square, like this kind of harsh, kind of tense aspect to Mars. So that's a new beginning. There's also Venus and Jupiter conjunct on the same day. So there's that tension. And then this is like a really nice, big positive development at the same time. And then February 13th to the 14th, Mercury retrograde is going to conjoin Venus and Jupiter. So immediately this new promise, whatever has happened, will be sort of looked at, examined. This is essential and can actually bring more good news. And the Mercury Jupiter conjunction kind of, we're focusing on events from around January 11th, like is what we're hearkening back to with some of the placements this week. So here's a little hit for each sign. Aries, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your social area. That clarifies issues with friends, groups, or your social image. This can be a message from the past illuminating exactly what you need to know about who your people are. In some cases, this could be a significant announcement. Mercury square Mars is going to reactivate a social argument or any tense moments from around January 8th involving money that you earn, values, what matters most to you may be questioned as you dig in and defend yourself, or have to kind of like show up for what's yours. The new moon is in your social area in the square to Mars, and the Venus-Jupiter conjunction suggests a new beginning, somewhat volatile, that still features more of what you want from friends and groups. So this could be an expansive chapter in your social life, or it could mark a launch. Just keep in mind that Mercury is still moving backwards, so things could change once it stations direct. Any tension will be motivating, but it can make you feel like you're exposed or competing with everyone. So Mercury retrograde is going to be in conjunct with Venus and Jupiter. That suggests very good news that demands a second look. So just watch for a charming messenger, maybe from the past, an exciting social attraction, or an expansive view of your future, just that's going to raise some questions. Mercury Jupiter reactivates whatever was going on January 11th. A promise or an ideal from that time could be up for questioning, but overall reviews and questions will activate public benefits. So it's excellent for social media or approaching a contact for the second time. Like, it's actually really, really good for being out there this week. Taurus, the Sun Mercury conjunction in your career area is clarifying a conversation with management, your future goals, your career decisions. So a significant professional announcement could be featured. And the Mercury square Mars in your sign, that's reactivating professional arguments or tense moments from around January 8th, involving your ambition or your defensiveness. So struggle for authority can be featured as you double down on original goals, or find that your activities are being questioned. Now is not the best time for progress. Just know that it might be a little stunted. The new moon in your professional sector in the square to Mars and the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, that's suggesting a tense new beginning that's driven by frustration, ambition, anger, all that stuff. Things can get off to a rocky start, especially if you're dealing with someone in power, but there's a significant benefit available in the form of a really expansive professional relationship, desirable new project, or a boost to your professional image. Now, Mercury retrogrades configurations to Venus and Jupiter. That suggests a second look at everything I just said in terms of opportunities, career benefits, reevaluating your career path, asking again, and just considering what really the opportunity is that that's being revealed to you. Mercury and Jupiter is reactivating an issue from January 11th. That's everybody this week. So you can review or refine an area of professional expansion. It's excellent for pausing and reorganizing your future goals and work priorities. It's a really good Mercury retrograde directive for you, Taurus. Gemini, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your opportunities area. So that clarifies questions or delays in the area of travel, legal matters, education, publishing. In some cases, truth can arise from questions about ideals or faith or future hope. Mercury retrograde is squaring Mars in your hidden sector. So that is reactivating an argument or tension from January 8th. Hidden motivations or unexplored anger can trigger more volatile information. So what's hidden can be exposed under this square. The new moon is in your opportunities area square to Mars, and the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, that suggests that everything that I just said, the hidden matters can fuel a risky new chapter in terms of education, travel, legal matters, and publishing. You may actually feel pushed by matters beyond your control or impulses that you might not fully understand. So just be mindful, look carefully before you proceed. Nonetheless, there are significant opportunities here that can really expand unexpected areas, including long distance romance. Mercury retrogrades conjunctions to Venus and Jupiter also suggest a second look at the above opportunities while also slowing down and making sure that you fully understand the facts behind the big picture. So reviews and questions can unexpectedly reveal more or better while encouraging you to have faith in the way things are progressing. Mercury and Jupiter they're going to reactivate an issue from January 11th. Promise, guidance from a mentor, or a piece of knowledge. It might offer you additional wisdom that's unexpected. Don't be afraid to question the new theory. What's being preached or taught, it's just important to question it. You might have to revise your own teachings. Cancer, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your area of shared resources. That illuminates a key fact regarding taxes, debt, a partner's finance, intimacy, anything in the psychological realm. Any delays or stressful conversations can be put into perspective under this. Mercury retrograde is square to Mars in your social area. That reactivates tension or arguments from around January 8th that were driven by the actions of others or public stuff. You might be forced to take a second look at how you react around others or on social media. Just deep reconsideration of your motivation is what is being asked. The new moon is in your area of shared resources in the square to Mars, and the Venus-Jupiter conjunction triggers a kind of tense new chapter involving taxes or debts, your partner's finances, intimacy, or psychological matters. You might be motivated by external pressure to look deeper into a shift in terms of what you share. So at the same time, there can be a gift and there can be increase in intimacy and a growth in shared expenses, shared finances, clarity around all of those things, clarity replacing vagueness. Mercury retrograde is conjunct to Venus and Jupiter. That suggests a second look at all the finance stuff, psychological stuff, and intimacy stuff, which will require more sensitive conversations and a deeper period of introspection. So asking again and asking hard questions will uncover benefit. And just watch for hidden resources and additional clarity into your most private matters. But it's really good for getting to the truth and letting clarity replace vagueness. Leo, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your area of relationships. This can deliver significant message from a partner or clarify the direction a relationship is going. The reasons for current delays or changes of heart, they could become obvious. So Mercury also is retrograde square Mars in your career area. So that reactivates any tension, anything going on January 8th with partners, competitors, disagreeing with your ambition or any professional choices. This can also be motivating for you if they urge you to reconsider your actions. The new moon is in your area of relationships in the square to Mars, and the Venus Jupiter conjunction delivers kind of an edgy new partnership chapter, and that can expose ongoing conflict. This new chapter could also involve your future goals, but there's room for growth in the relationship, and you could attract good responses from others. And in some cases, this could be a new relationship that starts off exciting, but also maybe volatile. Mercury retrograde is in these conjunctions with Jupiter and Venus suggests a second look at all the relationship dynamics between you and another, as those things will continue to shift. So just watch for pointed questions or second chances, especially involving people from the past. And then the Mercury Jupiter is reactivating an issue from January 11th. Goals, growth, promise of a partnership will be revisited as you kind of push forth into more details. Cooperative effort that allows more questions and more research can deliver benefits, in terms of like below the surface kind of things. So really, really juicy week for Leos. By the way, that sound in the background is my recalcitrant Persian cat Mukti, who's trying to go out and will not stop meowing. So apologies for that. Virgo, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your area of routine. That is illuminating an error or a situation regarding a health or work matter. The specifics of your self-care or obligations to another will be highlighted, and the reason for current delays and breakdowns can be clarified. Mercury retrograde is in the square to Mars in your opportunities area. That is reactivating tension or arguments, like whatever was coming up around January 8th as actions involving travel, education, publishing, broadcasting, legal matters. Once again, this can conflict with work or health matters or matters of service. So the second shot may be you questioning initial efforts in light of the impact of your daily life and how you can be motivated by that tension to find a solution. So we're revisiting. The new moon is in your area of routine square Mars, and the Venus Jupiter conjunction does trigger kind of a tense chapter in terms of health and obligations to others and work. You can feel swamped by more work, and while you might be energized there also can be some anxiety. So meditation, and scattered focus meditation. So this can be the case of too much of a good thing if you take on more than you can handle, even if there are benefits. So just be mindful of that. Mercury retrogrades conjunctions to Venus and Jupiter also are asking you to take a second look at all that work and obligation stuff and to break down the details in terms of like influx of work activities and growth in daily life. At this point, it's just crucial to separate the details from the promise. You can get more as your focus increases. Mercury and Jupiter, this conjunction reactivates an issue from January 11th in terms of a big goal, a promise, or an optimistic outlook demanding a second look. So it may simply be a matter of sorting out the details and getting yourself organized. Just use any delays to drill down into specifics. Like the delays are your friend. Libra, the Sun-Mercury conjunction is in your sector of self-expression. That clarifies any new attraction, creative work, or any matter involving children. So the details of what you want to display, communicate, or create will be highlighted, as well as any areas that require refinement. Mercury retrograde is square to Mars in your sector of shared resources. So that reactivates anything going on, any tension, any arguments from January 8th as background motivation, passion, anger, any of those things are revisited. It's just time for a closer look at what you may not have been admitting or what you feel you don't have full control over. The new moon is in your area of self-expression in the square to Mars, and the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, that triggers exciting but slightly new, like a new chapter, like a risky new chapter that can exceed your expectations. So fun and celebration could be part of this, but also keep track on what's behind the scenes and watch for a tendency to overindulge. Mercury retrogrades conjunct to Venus and Jupiter. That suggests a second look at the above as what you want or attract may not deliver on the initial promise. You might also be pushed to reevaluate your public statements or your creative work. Mercury Jupiter conjunction reactivates an issue from January 11th. So whatever was going on there, you'll look for specifics, promising development, or refine an initial sort of bold statement that was made around that time. Asking again or revisiting a creative effort from the past could actually gain you positive attention while boosting confidence. Scorpio, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your domestic area. So that clarifies family discussion, matters involving buying or renting a home, or information from the past. A family matter can also reach a crucial turning point under this placement. Mercury retrograde is square Mars in your relationship area, and that reactivates tension or argument from January 8th as a partner's actions once again challenge your ideas. Don't be afraid to revisit the difficult conversation or confront their motivations, but do watch for a tendency to dig your heels in and any kind of a refusal to compromise, just like it's an invitation to see it a different way. The new moon on the 11th is in your domestic area in the square to Mars, and the Venus Jupiter conjunction that triggers a new beginning fueled by relationship and love relationship, tensions, family tensions, or competition. It might feel as if another controls the direction things are going in, but there's actually a chance for growth with home and family, and an increase in love, in money, in happiness, and peace. Mercury retrogrades conjunctions to Venus and Jupiter are asking you to take a second look at the above, and you're going to sort of tense out the details of domestic changes and question the specifics of a relocation, a home project, and an addition to the family or home business. More can be gained from referring to past issues. Mercury and Jupiter reactivates an issue from January 11th. And this, you can discuss domestic growth in the context of details over faith. It's just time to look underneath the big design or update ideas that are based in the past. Big week for Scorpio. Sagittarius, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your communication area. That illuminates a key answer or a decision or a message. This is the reason why there have been delays or changes of opinion. So in some cases, info you've been waiting for can arrive. Mercury retrograde squares Mars in your sector of routine, and that reactivates any argument or tension from January 8th in terms of health, or work difficulties once again revisited. Difficult diagnosis might be questioned, or you might be motivated to look at a different solution for these issues. The new moon is in your communication sector, square Mars, and the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. This suggests a new chapter based on difficult information or situations. This can be super motivating, but also there can be some anxiety that scatters your focus as it kind of can deliver a big and favorable message. So even if it's good news, I'm always like, I just meditation. Mercury retrograde is conjunct, has these conjunctions to Venus and Jupiter. This suggests looking at everything I just said, all that stuff, as you begin to process sorting out the promise, flirtations, a message, any surge of optimism. In some cases, you might need to revise your initial statement. Mercury and Jupiter reactivates an issue from January 11th as you're encouraged to question specifics about a big idea or a matter of faith. So a change in plans or backtracking on a promise, like that might be possible under this, but just like the idea of something changing, that, you know, something that was in place might be different. So Capricorn. Okay, Sun and Mercury are in your sector of personal resources. That illuminates a key matter involving your earned money, values, or security. Delays in terms of salary or any source of income. This is a good time for that to get clarified. Mercury retrograde is going to be square Mars in your area of self-expression. That reactivates tension or arguments from January 8th as you're once again motivated to defend values or resources. So you might be questioning another's actions or your own previous efforts to attract or compete. The new moon on the 11th is in your sector of personal resources, and the Venus Jupiter suggests new financial or emotional chapter that promises more while leaving you like you just have to watch for anxiety. You might be motivated to earn or pursue in light of a new source of income or an event that increases your sense of well-being. Mercury retrograde is conjunct Venus and Jupiter, and that suggests a second look at the above. Um, Financial gains and emerging values are also put under the microscope this week. So there may be questions about what's valid or what you really want. Mercury and Jupiter reactivates an issue from January 11th as a financial opportunity or an expense or a surge of optimism is revisited. While there might be questions about what you can afford and what you're worth, know that intensified examination can actually be really lucrative excuse me, and really beneficial for you at this time. Aquarius, the Sun and Mercury conjunction is in your sign. Sun and Mercury are both in your sign. That clarifies a key issue for you, and that enables a kind of a jolt of insight. Excuse me. So you may discover the perfect words or suddenly understand why certain delays have been occurring. Mercury retrograde is square Mars in your domestic area, and that reactivates tension or argument, whatever was going on January 8th. Actions at home or with family once again cause headaches. So you can be revisiting specific family arguments or questioning actions in terms of home stuff, domestic construction, relocation, business at home. The new moon is in your sign, square Mars, and Venus, Jupiter are conjunct, and that delivers a really vibrant new beginning with promises of more. So attraction power is dialed up, and a new project or a lifestyle change can kind of start with a bang, but underlying tension can amplify anxiety while pushing you forward. There could be a now or never feel. Mercury retrograde has these conjunctions to Mercury and Jupiter that suggests a second look at all that stuff, the home stuff, the new beginning, new attractions, moving forward, being able to see things in a new way, just questioning new developments, questioning new relationships or lifestyle changes. So closer examination of what you've attracted and what you want can be beneficial. In some cases, this can be about a past relationship. Mercury and Jupiter reactivate an issue from January 11th as a new project or a goal or expansion requires more of a detailed breakdown. In some cases, asking again or reviewing your decisions can uncover a really big benefit. And Pisces, finally, the Sun and Mercury are conjunct in your hidden area. This can illuminate secrets, reveal unconscious factor that's been slowing you down. Just watch for a flash of intuition. Mercury retrograde squares Mars in your sector of communication, and that reactivates tension or arguments from January 8th. Subconscious or human information that's been clashing with external actions is revisited and clarified. If you find yourself enmeshed in the same argument now, pause and look closely at what you may or may not be admitting fully. The new moon is in your hidden areas in the square to Mars, and the Venus Jupiter triggers this new chapter that may not be noticed by others, but you know. Background information can promise growth, but the jury is still out on whether or not this will stick. So it's Mercury retrograde. So it's like what's going on now, it's like it might not stick. So Mercury retrograde is conjunct to Venus and Jupiter. This can suggest a second look at all that stuff, all the hidden stuff. Is it real? Are you being practical? A hidden desire, an attraction, or a dream requires more examination. And Mercury Jupiter reactivates an issue from January 11th. The specifics of a hope or a background promise offer help. This must be clarified. So anyway, so this is a big week for everybody. Opportunity for really lovely growth and shift. I always say meditation, please meditate. It's the key to any blissed out life and clarity. And I'm available at benimudra.com as an astrologer. I do birth chart readings, soul readings, karmic astrology, and I'm a spiritual teacher as well. And I also am available for corporate events, work. Love doing those. So please find me there or on Instagram at Lauren, LAUREN_Dalvia, DALVIA is my personal account, which has business. And then a separate business account is at 1111 Guided. And you spell the words 11 out. Thank you guys so much and have a beautiful, beautiful week.